To call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to do roll call, please.
Yes. Desmond?
Here.
Frost?
Here.
Guetta?
Here.
Harris?
Here.
Rodriguez?
Here.
Kennedy? Miller? Natoli?
Here.
Sandu?
Here.
Chenier? Cerna?
Here.
Spees? Terry? Valenzuela? Vang?
Here.
And Sing Allen.
Here.
And you have a quorum.
Thank you. Next up is our Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask Director Natoli and Harris to lead us.
Should we hold hands?
Hand over heart, you lead them. Let's go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, got that
All right.
quadraphonic there.
We're not going to be joining any symphony anytime soon. Or choir.
Got some of those.
All right, I'd like to ask the clerk to read the announcements and instructions for public comment and how to view the meeting, please.
Yes. In compliance with directives for the County, State, and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the meeting is open to public attendance pursuant to health and safety guidelines. The practice of social distancing and wearing of face coverings is recommended for health and safety for all persons participating in person during the meeting, although it is not required. Seating is limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. To make a public comment, please complete a speaker request form and hand it to the clerk. The chairperson will call your name when it's your turn to make a comment. To make a telephonic comment at today's meeting, dial 916-875-2500 and follow the prompts to be placed in queue for a specific agenda item or off-agenda matter. When the chair opens public comment for a specific agenda item or off-agenda matter, callers will be transferred from the queue into the meeting to make their comment. You can also send a written comment to boardclerk@saccounty.gov, and your comment will be routed to the board and filed in the record. This meeting of the Sacramento Transportation Authority is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T UVerse cable systems. This meeting is closed captioned and live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting will replay Sunday, December 11th at 2 p.m. on Channel 14, and this meeting can also be viewed at youtube.com/Metro Cable 14. And that concludes my announcements.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the clerk if there are any comments from the public regarding matters not on the agenda.
I do not have any speaker slips here in chambers, and I do not have any callers in the queue for item number 1.
Very good. And before we begin item 2, I move that we consider item 12 next and out of its scheduled order. Can I get a second for that?
Second.
I'll second.
All right. After the roll call vote to take, okay, very good. Let's see, turn it over for our executive director's report.
I'm sorry, we're going to go ahead and take the vote?
Oh, yes, you got to do the roll
We're
call,
going to do a
sorry.
roll call vote.
This is what happens when you move
Yeah.
things out of order. I'm already lost.
Well, first we have to take the motion to call that item first.
Yes, please.
Before, okay.
Thank
So, Desmond? Aye. Frost?
Aye.
Guetta?
Aye.
Harris?
Aye.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Kennedy? Miller? Natoli?
Aye.
Sandu?
Aye.
Chenier? Cerna?
Aye.
Spees? Terry? Valenzuela? Vang?
Yes.
And Sing Allen.
Yes.
Okay, and that motion carries with Directors Kennedy, Miller, Chenier, Spees, Terry, and Valenzuela being absent, and that was the motion to hear item number 12. And then item number 12 was the introduction of Citizens Initiative Draft Work Plan that was continued from November 10th of 2022, and it was item number 11, and the request is to drop this item.
Yeah, we just voted on.
Yeah, we just.
I'm sorry, I was confused.
We move to,
We didn't have to have a vote on that.
Okay.
yeah,
I think everybody, I don't know if everybody understood what they were voting on. I think they were voting.
we're voting to dropping the item.
Okay, my apologies. I thought
No
I
worries.
was.
To clean up the record, we might as well.
Do it again.
Okay.
Motion to drop item
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Okay. Desmond. Frost.
Aye.
Guerra.
Aye.
Harris.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
Kennedy. Miller. Natoli.
Aye.
Sandu.
Aye.
Chenier. Cerna.
Aye.
Singh Allen.
Aye.
Speece. Terry. Valenzuela. And Vang.
Yes.
Okay, so the motion does carry with directors Kennedy, Miller, Chenier, Speece, Terry, and Valenzuela being absent.
Thank you for that. And now I'd like to turn it over for the executive director for a report and end of the year presentation.
If we can put the PowerPoint up for item number 2.
All right, there we go.
Okay, wonderful. We're going to do an actual presentation for the end of the year instead of a verbal report. So this is the 2022 year in review. Kevin Busey, I'm your executive director, and Dustin Purington will also be joining me, the accounting manager, to go over a few of these slides. So this will be a review of 2022. First, I want to start out with a couple of slides on our SASWA and FSP. Jennifer Dahl was unable to attend. I'll be presenting these slides for her. So in fiscal year 22, we were able to abate 21,413 vehicles, that remove those vehicles. And then we were able to reimburse the county and the cities $1.1 million to complete that work. And then in June, we had the Measure C on the ballot, which had a fairly robust public outreach and education campaign. And it got a 57.7% approval, not quite enough to pass, but did get majority support. And so then, related to that, in November, the STA board actually approved a strategy to reestablish SASFA through a legislative solution.
Madam Chair, may I? Kevin, with regards to that effort, if we are unsuccessful, how fair is it to assume that at 21,413 abatements for the last year, if we have nothing to replace it through legislative fiat or otherwise, is that what we, the community, can expect in terms of more cars and vehicles that would have otherwise been abated on our streets and in our community?
So the SASFA program is reimbursing at about 58 cents on the dollar. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a revenue shortfall of about 1.1 million across all agencies. So that funding's got to come from somewhere. So either those cars are not, the abandoned vehicles stay there, or some other funding source, some other funding that comes out of probably general fund for the various agencies gets impacted.
Yeah, I'll just point out the obvious that I think all of us can say in the various communities we represent that for a variety of reasons, the number of vehicles that quite frankly are deserving to be abated has dramatically increased over the last several years. So I'm hopeful that we can find some substitute funding to fill that gap, because I think this is going to be a real quality of life issue. I mean, it already is, but it's going to, I think, become exacerbated if we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, Freeway Service Patrol. So in fiscal year 22, there were 36,383 assists. And you can see the map on the right side. It kind of shows the network that we do Freeway Service Patrol on. And in addition to our normal Freeway Service Patrol during AM and PM peak hours, we also provided construction tow coverage for the Interstate I-5 Corridor Enhancement Project. And then finally, in August, the STA board approved a multi-year agreement with Caltrans, allowing us to do a work order-based approach for these construction-related services. And it allows us to be much more responsive and timely in providing those Freeway Service Patrol services during construction projects for Caltrans. And with that, Dustin's going to talk a little bit about some of the financials.
Thank you, Kevin, and good afternoon, board and board chair. I will be discussing some of the financial accomplishments of the 2022 fiscal year. I can't take credit for a lot of them because Tim was here prior to me coming on board. The first item here is the increase of the credit rating to AAA from AA+. This is important to the authority because it allows us to obtain lower interest rates, and our current debt obligations have a better outlook. They're easier to sell, so to speak. The next line item here is the refinancing of the 2012 series bond, and that was replaced with the 2022 series. That resulted in nearly 10% savings of interest over the course of the debt refinancing. And this is paired with a release of a $5.6 million bond reserve. And these actions will help fund our CIP program. The next item here, we completed a 5-year extension of a standby bond purchase agreement. In simpler terms, we, as the authority, have to maintain lines of credit for our variable rate debt portfolio. We currently have 3 of these agreements, 1 for each of the variable rate bonds that we hold. And we renewed the 2009 C series in this fiscal year. The next item here, STA has initiated and updated the Nexus study for the Sacramento Countywide Transportation Mitigation Fee Program, SCTMFP. And we're currently working with the agencies and the consultant to get everything finished up, and that should finalize in the 2023 year. And on the next slide, I will be discussing the 2022 fiscal year distributions. And we set this up with 3 broad categories here: the county and city ongoing measure A, the special district ongoing measure A, and the CIP program. And the CIP program is funded through the measure A allocations and the SCT MFP funding. And to highlight some of the larger items on this slide, the city streets and county roadway maintenance program, that amounted to $51 million, and the transit operations, safety, maintenance, and safety program with the Sacramento Regional Transit District amounted to $58.7 million. The capital improvement program expenditures on an accrual basis ended up being $22.6 million. Those are agency invoices to STA that we reimburse, just to explain how the funding moves around. And in closing, the 2022 year was a solid year for the Measure A tax allocations, and STA is in a good financial position going into 2023. So that concludes my portion of the presentation, and I'm going to hand it back off to Kevin for leveraging.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So we're going to talk about how we're leveraging Measure A, and we've been doing that in a variety of ways. So first, let's talk about our Smart Growth Incentive Program. There was a pilot strategy done in 2020 for the SACOG Community Design Program in 21. At that point, we took $5.5 million in SGIP funds, which is a component of the impact fee that we have under Measure A. And we provide that to local agencies so that they could then take those funds, use that as their local match, and then compete for federal and state dollars at SACOG. And we were successful in I believe, 21 in getting an additional $33.5 million of federal and state dollars through that strategy. And this year, the board took action to finalize those contracts. And then this next slide, we are essentially re-upping on that strategy. We took board action in November. SDA is going to provide $1.7 million in local funds to ideally be leveraged up to $13 million, and that could be as much as a 7-to-1 ratio if we're able to do that. Now we'll talk a little bit about some of the leveraging we're doing with the SB1 program. So first is the SB1 Local Partnership Program. That is the formulaic program. We received those funds because we are a self-help county. So the board actually approved how we would formulaically distribute those funds in August. It was $6.386 million. the graphic on the right is actually from one of our social media posts, kind of talking about that action. And then STA staff worked with the city, county, SAC-RT staff to review those applications and get those submitted in November. And those funds were used primarily for Fix It First and safety-related needs. And now we're going to talk about the competitive side of local partnership program. So this was a pretty robust process that we took forward, where we did a call for nominations from the cities, the county, essentially Sacramento Regional Transit, all asking for what projects are interested in coming forward. And then we had those agencies do a presentation to the board for 2 projects, and then there was a formal ranking that occurred in October. The STA board ranked the US 50 Gold Line Corridor Enhancement Project as the #1 project, and the White Rock Road Safety and Congestion Relief Phase 3 project as the #2 project. STA staff then worked with those agencies to review their applications, and then those were submitted in November. We'll end up seeing the results of that in probably spring or summer of '23. Okay, and this is kind of one of my last slides. So the SB1 Trade Corridor Enhancement Program application, Caltrans had approached us about submitting this application. So this is, I think, a good story to tell. So there's this SAC-5 Corridor Enhancement Project that Caltrans had. It's a $332 million dollar project. I've got the ribbon cutting photo on the bottom right of this screen. And so back in 2017, Caltrans asked STA to advance $30 million of Measure A funds, because they believed they could leverage those funds for an additional $48.3 million, and they were successful in 2018 through SB1 program. And that allowed for essentially rehabilitation of I-5 from downtown to Elk Grove and managed lanes, all to be constructed in one project. So it was a great project. And then in April of this year, the board actually authorized that the savings, they're actually having a little bit of a savings, about $5 million of that original $30 million is still left. They want to take that money and expand the scope to go from essentially north on I-5 from US 50 to I-80. And as a result of that savings, they're able to leverage those dollars through a grant application that STA just submitted for the I-5 Managed Lanes project. And so they're using that $5 million. They're going to try to get an additional $10 million to advance that project through final design. So this just gives you an idea of what I think STA is trying to do to leverage those Measure A dollars. And this last slide is essentially the various projects where we provide letters of support for at the federal or state level. You've got the US 50 Gold Line Corridor Enhancement Project, which we talked about earlier, but they've been applying for some federal dollars. The Capital Corridor Project, as well as a piece of the connector that needed some money for safety. Okay, so with that, that is the presentation. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what we were able to accomplish in 2022, and ideally in the early 23, I'll be providing kind of what's coming up in the 23 calendar year for STA.
Thank you, Mr. Busey, for that presentation. Are there any questions or comments from the board? We'll go online first. Anybody there?
I do not see any hand raises in the Zoom.
Anyone from the dais? Thank you, Mr. Busey. Can you actually forward a copy of that to us? I would certainly like a copy. I liked a lot of the slides there.
I will send the PowerPoint out to the
Thank you
members.
very much. Are there any questions or comments from the public?
I do not have any speaker slips in chambers, and I do not have any callers in the queue for item number 2.
All right, very good. Then we'll move on to our next items, which is our consent items. Are there any members who want to remove an item from the consent calendar?
Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
If there are no questions or desire to pull individual items, I'd move the consent calendar.
We have a motion and a second.
Okay, and there were no hand raises in the Zoom, just for the record.
Okay.
And on to the roll call vote. Desmond? Aye. Frost?
Aye.
Guerra?
Aye.
Harris?
Aye.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Kennedy? Miller? Natoli?
Aye.
Sandhu?
Aye.
Chenier? Cerna?
Aye.
Spees? Terry? Valenzuela? Vang?
Yes.
And Singh Allen.
Yes.
And your motion carries with Directors Kennedy, Miller, Chenier, Spees, Terry, and Valenzuela being absent.
Very good. Our next item, please, is item number 9. And before we begin this item, I want to recognize Joan Baruki, correct? Okay. The ITOC Chair. This is Joan's last STA board meeting. She has served on the ITOC for the past 8 years. We want to thank you for your service.
Thank you. It's been a privilege.
Thank you.
So I have only good news. And for the 3rd straight year in a row, the annual comprehensive financial audit was conducted. And there are no findings of significance or comments on the audit. And I think that's something everybody here should be very proud of, once again, to be able to move forward, and everything's clean and very good. With that, I also want to thank you for having had the privilege and honor to serve on the ITOC committee. It's changed a lot since I started 8 years ago, and I'm very proud of where we are today with the committee. I hope that we have 2 vacancies. It's only a 3-person committee. I hope we get some applicants for those 2 committees going forward, because it's an important role to have.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, please.
So, Joan, I want to personally thank you for all of your efforts at the ITOC. You've been fabulous, and under your leadership, it has transformed dramatically. Certainly, I spent a little time on the ITOC, and then as chair of STA, you brought us through a tough time. You actually did, and your efforts were significant and very much appreciated.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Were there any other comments?
Not in the Zoom, but I see Serna is queued to speak. I have you here in the request to speak.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay, no problem.
got to turn it off.
And yeah, so there was we have one speaker slip here.
Thank you. Bob Holderness.
Madam Chair,
Welcome.
members.
You have 3 minutes.
I actually wanted to talk on item 11, but this is as good a one as any. I worked with Joan Baruki on your ITOC, and I can tell you that she's been a great leader of that committee, and there can't be enough praise for her. And I didn't know Joan before I met her, and I learned in working with her that she at one time worked with Will Kempton, which is quite a burden to have to work with that guy.
Oh, wow.
But she survived it, as I have, and so all laudations are to her, and I hope I can come back on number 11, because I do have a comment for Board Member Natoli.
Very good. I'll save your speaker card for that time. Okay. Any other questions?
I do not see any hand raises in the Zoom, and I'm not seeing any public comment in the queue for item number 9.
You may proceed. All right, so we have so I'll ask for a motion, or no, you still have your presentation.
He's waiting on item 10, actually.
It's an action item.
9
No, a
is,
9 is an action item.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So we can go ahead and
And
make
I have you co-presenting.
we
so-
can go ahead and make a motion on item 9, I think, at this point. I think Joan was the only one providing the presentation, unless you wanted to
So moved.
say anything.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Okay. Desmond? Frost?
Aye.
Guerra?
Yeah, I.
Okay. Harris?
Aye.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Kennedy? Miller? Natoli?
Aye.
Sandu?
Aye.
Chenier? Serna?
Aye.
Spees? Terry? Valenzuela? Vang?
Yes.
And Singh Allen.
Yes, thank you.
And your motion carries.
Very good. So next item, item number 10, and before we begin this item, I want to formally recognize Robert Holderness, ITOC member. Robert has served on the ITALC for the past 4 years, and we also want to thank you for your service.
It's been my pleasure. I'm happy to serve the community of Sacramento County and the board members. And it's been a lot of fun and reminded me why I like transportation projects.
Very good. Thank you again. All right, Dustin.
Thank you. All right, so we discussed some of the, the ITALC committee has 3 voting members, and these positions are filled by unpaid volunteers. And currently they are Joan Barucki, the chair, Robert Holderness, and a vacant seat. Mr. Holderness has been with the ITALC for a 4-year term, and he filled in during a previous member's absence in 2017 and 2018. He was designated the ex officio by the board chair in 2016. And there are also 3 ex officio non-voting members of the ITALC, which are made up of the STA board chair or their delegate, the executive director of STA, the county auditor appointee, which is currently Joyce Renenson, and she is the deputy director of finance at the county of Sacramento. After December, Mrs. Barucki's will no longer hold a seat on the ITALC committee, and the committee will no longer have a quorum. STA staff are actively working to fill the 2 remaining open seats. And to talk a little bit about Mr. Holderness's background, he practices law in the fields of real estate and land use, and he's been very involved in regional politics for a long time. He was the mayor of Folsom for a 4-year term, and he also served on the Sacramento-Placerville Transportation Corridor, JPA, for a 4-year term. And STA staff recommend that the board reappoints Mr. Holderness for another 4-year term on the ITALC. And that concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you for that. I would like to see if any of our directors have any questions or comments.
I do.
Yes, sir.
Well, first, again, I'd like to recognize Bob Holderness and Joan Barucki because they have held the ITALC together. The ITALC is very important, but it's also been very hard to populate. But without the ITALC, we would not have moved through a very difficult time in the transition a few years ago. It's an important thing to maintain the transparency that this organization really requires. So my advice to the younger or newer members of the STA is to scour the troops and find 2 more good people to populate the ITALC. We're really lucky to have Bob Holderness willing to go on a year-by-year basis, but at some point we'll lose his expertise. We really need to get a couple of people in the saddle and up to speed on the ITALC. It's very important to STA. Again, thank you 2 so much. You have really been tremendous in offering the STA a path forward through difficult times, and very much appreciated. So I would like to move that Bob Holderness be reappointed.
Second.
All right, we do have a motion and a second. Before we take the roll call, are there any members of the public?
Actually, we have Frost in the Zoom with the hand raised.
Yes, please. Director Frost.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to especially thank Bob Holderness and Joan Barucki for your service on the ITALC. It seems like it's not one of those easy committees. You actually have to work. It's a commitment, and it's been a commitment through many years, some ups and some downs, and your insight and your expertise has been invaluable to the board. And I just want to say thank you so much for your willingness to serve in this leadership role. And thank you, Bob, for being willing to continue. And Joan, thank you. Can't thank you enough for everything you've done to help us out.
Thank you, Director Frost. Were there any others?
No, I don't see any other hand raises in the Zoom, and I do not have any additional public comment slips in chambers or any callers in the queue for item number 10.
All right, we do have an active motion and a second.
Desmond? Frost?
Aye.
Guetta?
Aye.
Harris?
Aye.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Kennedy? Miller? Natoli?
Aye.
Zandu?
Aye.
Chenier? Cerna?
Aye.
Singh Allen?
Aye.
Spees? Terry? Valenzuela? And Vang.
Yes.
And your motion carries with Directors Kennedy, Chenier, Spees, Terry, and Valenzuela being absent.
Excellent, thank you. And great comments from Director Harris. I appreciated that, thank you. All right, item number 11, recognition and appreciation of our departing members of the Governing Board for service to the Sacramento Transportation Authority. I will be presenting this item with assistance from our staff here. We do have two of our outgoing directors here present, but I will go ahead and read about all four. So I want to recognize our four outgoing board members for their service to the STA board, members Harris, Miller, Natoli, and Chenier. Jeff Harris was appointed to the STA Governing Board in 2014. He has provided 8 years of continuous service from 2014 to 2022 and served as board chair in 2018. Steve Miller was appointed to the STA Governing Board in 2019, serving as an alternate for STA in 2008 and 2014. He has provided 3 years of continuous service from 2019 to 2022. Don Natoli was first appointed to the STA Governing Board as an alternate in 1992 and then a member in 1994. He has provided 30 years of continuous service from 1992 to 2022 and has served as a board chair in 1996, 2004, and 2021. Jay Chenier was appointed to the STA board in 2010. He has provided 12 years of continuous service from 2010 to 2022. So at this time, I would like to recognize our two directors that are present, and I'll go ahead and do that presentation out here in the front, and maybe our other director colleagues can join in thanking both directors Natoli and Harris for their years of dedication and service, not only to this board, but their communities. Thank you. So we'll have Jeff here, Don to the left, and our directors, Desmond and Cernan. This is for you, and this is for paper pictures.
You know, Major Kevin? No, it's not.
Thank you so much, and thank you again.
Feels like one of those moments where you want to say, back in 1992,
Back in 1992.
the president was.
Yeah, one of the car was. So you still have it, right? Oh, that one got given to charity. Get rid of the court.
And at this time, I'll look for my directors for anybody who wishes to ask any questions or make comments.
Madam Chair?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So I've had the good fortune of serving on this august authority board for 12 years now, and with both my colleagues to the left and those that you mentioned that are being acknowledged in abstention today. And I just want to say, especially with regards to Mr. Natoli, that I've really admired him from a number of different perspectives in terms of his leadership and his kind of unique ability to welcome the public into the process of governance, not just here, but with regard to all the boards and commissions that we've had a chance to serve together on and at the Board of Supervisors, not the least of which has been just in the last 48 hours. You know, he's been a mentor to me, and going to miss him. When it comes to the subject matter of this particular governing body, I think he's been a very thoughtful member, as has my friend, Councilmember Jeff Harris. Both men have been incredibly articulate when it comes to transportation and how best to manage our role. in terms of governing policy and allocating resources for the important task of, ensuring that our community here in Sacramento County has what it needs with regards to surface transportation needs and also transit. So I want to just say thank you to both and wish you both well. I know you won't, neither of you will be strangers to the to this authority board and to others, and just felt it was the right thing to do to make sure that at least this member acknowledged those relationships. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Cerna. Anyone else from the dais wishing to speak?
Yeah. So thank you, Director Cerna, for those comments, especially about Don, because there's really not enough to say about his public service. There has not been a more dedicated public servant that I've been aware of in our region than Don Natoli. We consistently crack jokes about his longevity. He still looks like he's 40. And,
True.
But how much he has given to this region is, it's a subject for a book. Anyway, it's been my privilege to sit with you, to work with you, just to learn from you, and frankly, just to enjoy your personality. And I really appreciate your service, Don. It's been pretty remarkable across all of the boards and commissions that you sit on. And as was said by Director Cerna, your voluminous knowledge of every single board is pretty remarkable. I know I've often seen you walking around with 200 pounds of paper in your hands. And so your muscular strength should also be acknowledged.
That's funny.
I've often wondered why you did that, but
I'm not digitally smart enough to carry it on my phone.
It's
That's
an
why.
analog iPad.
Jeff, next Wednesday, his farewell, he needs some help carrying those boxes to his car.
We'll have to commission a U-Haul truck.
I'm still pretty buff, so I can handle a few hundred pounds. Anyway, thank you, Don. Really appreciate you in so many ways.
Thank you, Jeff.
Anyone else from the dais? I'll save mine for last. Or anybody online?
Yes, Director Guetta.
Oh, yes, Director Guetta.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And, I just wanted to also, I know I've given my accolades to Supervisor Natoli and most recently this week to Councilmember Harris. But, as someone who got their start at the Transportation Laboratory, I just wanted to personally thank the consistent elevation of the issues of transportation, and Director Natoli, Supervisor Natoli here, who's always been a staunch advocate for the rural communities. Also, both he and Councilmember Harris have been strong regionalists in understanding how it's our regional network, it's our multimodal network that is effective. And I wanted to again thank their years of service to elevating infrastructure, which isn't always on the front page of every issue, but making sure that consistently we're looking at sometimes maybe what isn't a hot topic, but making sure that we're looking at it for the long term, that these decisions are 30 to 4 years out. So thank you. I appreciate all your consistent service, and both. I wouldn't say I couldn't end without saying both of them who are also proud Sac State alumni. So components.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you for those comments. Director Guerra, any others online?
Paul Sandu from City of Galt.
Yes, sir. You have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I was a pleasure to working for the last 3 years with all the directors. Thank you for everybody, and they're doing a good job. And especially, I would like to make a comment regarding Don Natoli. He's a very long-serving community, especially from Galt. He was elected back in 1978 as a City of Galt member. And then he's been back in 1994, he was a Board of Supervisor. He did an excellent job, and he have a lot of quality most of the good person have it. He's very humble, he's very transparent, and he listened to you. As a personally, I know him last 30 years. Even I was a normal person, citizen in the city. He respects you the same way he respects me today. And good luck in retirement and best wishes for him.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Sandhu.
We have Director Rodriguez.
Okay. I just want to say, as a newbie to the STA, I want to thank you both, Jeff Harris and Don Natoli, for your years of service to the Sacramento region. And as somebody who is fairly new to STA, I may be reaching out to you for some background. So, but thank you.
I can tell you about potholes out in the rural areas, so. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Director Rodriguez. Any others?
Yes, Director Frost.
Very good. Director Frost.
Well, we've been through several board meetings.
Too many of these.
These goodbyes, which are hard, but I just want to thank you, Jeff Harris, for your knowledge and your sensible ways, your great questions always, and your great leadership. And I wish you well in whatever you do next. And Don, it's hard to say goodbye to you. I hate that you're going, and I want to thank you for your open mind. Your institutional knowledge is invaluable to the county and to all of us in the region, and your leadership is kind, and you're just a good person, and I wish you all the best in whatever you do next. So I wish you both well.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Director Frost. Any others online?
No, I do not see any other directors in the Zoom. And I don't have any callers in queue for item number 11.
I do have one here.
But yes.
Yeah, I'll call you up here shortly. I think we, Director Natoli, and then I would like to say something.
Yeah, I want to just thank my colleagues, all those that have spoken, all those I've served with on this board, and certainly to Jeff and Steve and Jay, who are all departing same time. It's been a really grand opportunity, certainly during my career, but over the years to have had the chance to come together in this setting, sometimes in other settings, to work on a myriad of issues. And I mean, it's been said many times that, all politics is local, but the things that we do here, certainly at STA, in our service and our respective positions, are very close to the people that we serve. And then we come together in this regional collaboration to look at issues that link us together. Obviously, this one literally when it comes to service transportation and public transportation. But I will just cherish certainly the time spent here in these chambers. For the most part, there are times you might wish you were somewhere else, but for the most part, though, it's been an honor to have served with each and every one of you and those that have preceded you. And I want to thank Kevin and being certainly the most recent executive director, but there's been some very capable people that have served in your capacity. And I would just note that what we do here, certainly in overseeing, I appreciate Joan, and congratulations to you, Joan, and thank you for your service, and Bob Holderness, who's going to get a chance at the podium in a moment, but who I've known and known Bob going back to before I even came to county government. So, but it takes a lot of folks working together. And again, Bill and Darrell, most recently, again, talented people that know their jobs, that come with a dedication to making things better. And certainly when it comes to transportation and people's tax dollars, we've merged that very well here. So again, I want to thank Jeff for his friendship, Phil, certainly all of you down here, Bobby, and my good friend, Mr. Desmond Rich, and everybody else on the phone. Again, it's just been a little bit bittersweet over the last few weeks. It's been very sweet, and then folks have been very kind in their comments, and I'm very appreciative of all the nice things that have been said, and I back at all of you. But I will miss the daily engagement, and there's no doubt about it. But there's a time, and then there's a time to leave it to someone else, and I know it'll be in good hands with my successor. But again, thanks to all of you for your kindness, and I will consider you all friends, and probably next time you see me, or at least in a few weeks, I may not have a tie and a coat. I'll have maybe a T-shirt and
You better not.
T-shirt and Levi's. But again, it's been a great run, and thanks for the good work. And when you can drive around, walk around, bicycle around, ride the bus around this community, and you can see
and feel and experience what this entity has been a part of and what it has funded in the various jurisdictions and in the cooperation, and it's pretty darn amazing, and it's good for people's health, it's good for people's vitality, for their prosperity, and again, I know it'll be in good hands. So thank you, Madam Chair, for indulging me, but I want to just give my compliments to all, and I know my emotions kind of ride right here these days, so I just better stop. So.
Beautiful words, Director Natoli, and I want to thank our two that aren't with us this afternoon, Directors Chenier and Miller, for their years of service. To you, Mr. Harris, it has been a pleasure getting to know you in the last few years. You are a great example of good governance, transparency, and just doing your due diligence as an elected official. Thank you for your service. I know that this is not the end for you. I look forward to your next chapter and maybe being a part of that journey with you. I respect you and value all that you bring to the table. Thank you for all of your hard work. And
Thank
to
you, Bobby.
Sounds like guys are going to business together or something, huh?
Maybe, you never know. And to my supervisor, and I'm proud to say my supervisor, Don Natoli, a true historian of our community, our county, all of the regional cities. You are the standard bearer of what it means to, the service above self. That when I hear those words, I think of you. We need more Don Natolis in public office. To all of our newly elected officials, this is who you want to be like. He does such a tremendous job of really focusing on what's in the best interest of the community for residents, improving quality of life. You have left your mark all throughout the county and cities everywhere. When we drive around, when we bicycle around, whatever we do, we know how much you had that impact, that tremendous impact on improving all of our lives. I want to be more like you. I just have the utmost respect for you, and thank you. I know that we will be celebrating again for your official retirement party, and we'll have more to say then. But not only on this body, but I serve on a number of other committees with you. You are just not only a pleasure to work with, but what you bring to the table. Over 30 years of service, that is no small feat. And that just goes to show you who you are. There's only one other person that I respect as much as you, and that is my dear mentor, Joe Cerna Jr. I would say both of you have had tremendous impact on my life.
Who we served with, actually.
And yes.
Yeah, I do.
So thank you. And both of you were just those examples of public service. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
At this time, I'll go ahead and call up Bob Holderness.
Okay, Bob.
Madam Chairperson and members, I won't be able to attend the big festivities, so I wanted to say a few words here today. First of all, I want to congratulate all four of the retiring. As a citizen of our county, I appreciate the work that this board does. Way back when, I was actually a member for a while, this board. And I think it's one of those services that the voters don't really appreciate, although when they're not stuck in traffic, where they used to be stuck in traffic, they're benefiting from it. One of your directors made reference to Don Natoli in the year 1978, and that got me to thinking. I first met Don Natoli early May 1978 at former city council member John Roberts' campaign get-together. Toby Johnson was running for the board against a Republican named Day O'Hagan. I know they're nonpartisan, and John was a very active Democrat, member of the city council here, and he hosted the event. And Don was Toby's advance man, recently out of college. He looked about the same as he does today, I must tell you.
I believe it.
And of course, Toby, for those who don't remember, Toby's campaign manager was his wife, Sue, who was a dynamo. And from that day forward, I got to be a friend with both Don and Toby, and I didn't know Toby, and I won't bore you with the gaffe I made on Toby. Don knows, that's why he's laughing, but because I was the master of ceremonies at that event, and so I kind of screwed up my introduction to Toby, and nevertheless.
It was memorable.
And since that time, I served with him on this board. I was a member of this board as an alternate for Dave Cox. Dave never liked to come here when I had business. When I had business for Folsom on the agenda, he wanted me to be here, so I would be here. But working with Don as a campaign person, as a staff person to Toby Johnson, and then, of course, as a supervisor and a member of this board, it's been nothing but a pleasure. Don has been a good friend. Sadly, I call him Donnie. That's not
right.
very respectful, but
Yeah,
that's
You've
what
known
we
him for a
called him
long
back
time.
in 1978. And but the thing about him that strikes me the most, balanced and fair, and there's no one who serves his constituents more than Don does, and that's the best praise any elected can get. So congratulations to you. And Jeff, thank you for talking me back into this role with the ITALK. I had served 1 year, Kerry Howell's appointment ex officio, and then the next year Jeff invited me to do the same. And then he encouraged me to sign up for 4 more years, and I've enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed working with him in particular. And this is a great board, and you're luck. We, the people of Sacramento County, are lucky to have you. So thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate your friendship.
Wonderful words. Thank you. Any other members from the public?
I do not have any callers in queue for item number 11, and I don't have any additional speaker slips here in chambers.
All right, our next item, comments of authority members. Anyone have any comments online, on the dais?
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yes, have a great holiday.
All right,
Wonderful
well, happy
2020.
holidays. And with that, we will go ahead and adjourn at 2:27. Thank you.
Thank you.